Hello, everyone. Welcome back to a Monday. I hope everybody had a great weekend and especially a good Sunday since it was Easter. It was a very quiet one for me, but it was very good too. So, anyway, today I want to do lesson 10. I'm still doing some of the lessons, like I said, until I go back to teach full time, and hopefully I can continue at least once in a while. But for now, this is what I'm doing, and I still want to continue. So, oh, I see some people getting on. That's wonderful. Thank you. Welcome. I'm glad you guys are tuning in. Let me see. I'll take a couple minutes. Aristotle from Germany again. Thank you. I like your name. You have a beautiful name. And I know that some of you say hello, and I can't once I start the lesson. And I apologize. I have to get so close because I really can't see from that far away. Let's see somebody else. Young, hi. Young, I can't pronounce your first name. It's really different. So, welcome everybody. I'm hoping that today's lesson brings a little bit more of what Tai Chi is about. You know, it is a philosophy, it is a Chinese. Oh, now everybody's saying hi. I love your lessons. Thank you, Ali. Shifu. Oh, Sifu, hello. Well, I am not a Sifu. I love Tai Chi. I'm a Tai Chi player. That's what we're called, Tai Chi players. So I'm not a master. I'll remind you guys again, I'm not a master. I'm not a Sifu. I'm just a Tai Chi player that's very passionate about what I do. And I want to be able to help you guys and connect. And it's just as good for me as it is for you guys. So remember that Tai Chi is a philosophy, it is a martial arts. And even though we do it, very yin, soft and gentle, it could also be very yang. And I remind you again how important it is for you guys to do some of these exercises a little bit more yang at times. You don't want to be always yin. Like I said, my Sifu would tell us, this is not buffet style. You can't come and pick and choose and, oh, I only want this, the Qigong exercises, or I only want to do the self-defense techniques. You have to encompass all of it because that is the balance. That is the balance and the beauty of Tai Chi, that you use it when you need it. And when something's about to change. And that's the beauty of this, is knowing, like right now, we took the world to the extreme of yang, and now it's being forced to go back to, to balance itself out with yin, and that's what we're doing. And pretty soon, it's all going to level out, and we're going to be able to go back out and be among people and continue with our daily routines. And hopefully, I'm really hopeful that we take some of what we've learned during this time of introspection, of being, by ourselves, or with our family at home. But I hope we really take this and carry it on, once we are able to go back out there, to take this peace and this quiet that we have, back out and carry it with us. And that's what I meant when I mentioned at the very beginning that Tai Chi, I can apply to almost everything I do. Like I said, even opening the door, using my whole body, using movements, the way we eat. Like I said, it's okay to eat junk food once in a while, but you don't want to do that every day. You want to, balance it out, 80% healthy, once in a while, have your junk food. Same with our programs we watch. Remember that our nervous system cannot distinguish whether something is real or not. You can be watching a very scary show, something that gets your adrenaline going. Your nervous system doesn't know the difference. So you must guard what you let in. You must put healthy boundaries and promote the sympathetic nervous system, which is the one that relaxes you. Okay, I'm talking too much, guys. Let's get going. So let's do first our bow, looking up. I honor the spirit in you, and I want to try something different. So shoulder width apart. And like I mentioned before, if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, do your stances, like into a horse stance, a little bit wider. incorporate, you know, a little bit of extra movements. But for this one, we can start shoulder width apart, and this one's called shooting the bow or something like that, something to do with a bow. So you start here. Remember, you inhale all the way down to your dantian, which is about 2 inches below your navel and 2 inches inside. You tuck in your chin a little bit, tuck in your tailbone, lift your, feel like your head is being lifted with a string so your spine can be open, and turn your tongue to touch the palate of your mouth. So this one, we're gonna start here. Move up. And then you make a small fist here. And then you're gonna make two fingers like you're shooting a bow and arrow. So you turn your head to the left and pull here. Again, you bring it to the center. Push down, exhale. Inhale. Now you make a small fist with your left hand and with your right hand like you're shooting an arrow. And this is very good rotation for your neck, which happens between C1 and C2 for those of you that are my students. The atlas and the axis, the atlantoaxial joint. Like you're pulling. And stretch your neck only as far as you can without hurting yourselves, okay? Exhale. Welcome, welcome. I see people getting on still, so. Open up your shoulder blades, retract your scapulas a little bit. Okay, let's do it a little smoother this time because I'm talking too much. Next, if you want to challenge yourself, you know, open up into a wider horse stance and really engage your quads, you know, and your hamstrings and your adductors, the lower you go. Okay, let's do this one while we're here. So we are in a horse stance. We're putting our hands on top of our knees. And then, remember we did this where we turned and really torqued? Now we're gonna come down and torque to the other side. Really gets the torso moving and our kidneys too. It's kind of like torquing your internal organs a little bit here. Now, don't hurt yourselves. Remember that you can still see your knees. I mean that your knees don't pass your toes, that you can still see your toes. I'm sorry. This is a good stretch for your spine. Back to our center, and let's do this one where you make a soft fist and tap your lung and your kidney, and then let's incorporate the turn, the twist too. You can do this without turning, or you can do it with turning. If we overate yesterday, this is a good one to get your bowels and your kidneys and your liver and your digestive system going. gallbladder meridian. Thank you for the feedback, guys. I want to say that I really do appreciate your comments. Some of you have left me some very nice comments, and some of you have told me that I've spoken with that you are practicing this at home and it's helping you. You know, like I mentioned before, even if you do one or two of these, whenever you feel like you need your chi flowing, you know, feel free to do that. It really does help you and brings you back to relaxation because it stimulates the nervous system, especially the parasympathetic nervous system, you know, which is really very important. So, let's pass the ball forward. Especially during this times, you know, we're all struggling, wondering, so many different news out there, and it's difficult sometimes to stay focused. So I urge you guys to really filter what you watch and what you hear too. Remember that what you focus on is what you're going to find out there. So if you focus on the negative, there's plenty of it out there. If you shift your focus to positive, there's plenty of that too. So it's a matter of choice, what we choose. You always come back to your center. I really feel my chi flowing now. And don't forget to smile within. Inhale, exhale. Let's hug a tree. And like I said, if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, just use a wider stance. You can even go down lower if you want, without hurting yourselves though, okay? Toes should be pointing forward. Your tailbone should be tucked in, like you're breathing here. I won't be able to do too many of this because then I don't want to hurt myself. But I'm just showing you like some of the things that you can do to, you know, to challenge yourself a little bit more. Let's do which one? Oh, we haven't done grinding coin. That's my favorite one. I don't know why that's my favorite one. It just is. Maybe because I'm Mexican and I like tortillas. You know, my Sifu, I remember I did do Tai Chi for 18 years on a regular basis. And I remember sometimes we had 20 people in the class. and it was so full. And then there was times where we only had two or three. There were times where it was only me by myself with my sifu. And he always said it wasn't about the quantity of people that were in the classroom, it was about the quality. So even if just one or two people showed up, he still held class. And that's how I feel, that even if it's just a little bit of you that are benefiting from this, that's all that matters to me, that I plant a seed with someone that's going to help them, to bring them peace and calm. Really, that's all that matters. So with that being said, let's start with the form. Okay, so that's the form. And remember, to really do your best to think, to flow from one posture to the next. You don't want to stop too much in between. It should flow like water. It really does flow from one posture to the next. Somebody's saying, Shima Carp, hello, Shima, welcome. So let's do it again and try to flow, and remember to feel where your feet are feeling the pressure from the yin to the yang. Remember, we should be moving three things at once, and they should all come together at the same time. And so you're not moving your arms just by themselves, and the feet or the legs are not doing anything. You're always in a constant flux and recreating circles too. That's a good thing to keep in mind. So tuck your tongue, or touch the palate, tuck in your tailbone, your chin, head straight up, and let's do these postures one more time. Extend your fingers. When you come to shoulder level and push down, exhale. You sit here and start. When you get to eye level, you follow it with your eyes. Drop the shoulders. Sit slightly. Step out. Back. Forward. Remember here, when you hear you're putting the weight on that left leg so that you can turn on that heel into the whiplash here. And these are all little things that I did that really wrong. When my Sifa was watching me, he would call me on that. So make sure that everything flows. that it's breathing. Remember, the form should breathe just the way we breathe. I forgot how far we went the last time. But anyway, another thing that you must remember is that your shoulders always follow where your hips go, so that you're not, too twisted. They should always be, one on top of the other, because it really does help the body posture and it helps you from not hurting yourselves. So I know there's a lot of things to think about, and it looks different when I do it slow without talking. And I've seen, other people. The form is like kind of like massage. You have 30 students in a class, and they each have their own take on it. They each put in their own little style, and it's the same way with a form. Some people might do a lot of hand movements that are real pretty, fancy movements. Other people, might be more closed in if they're very shy and quiet. I could always tell, since psychology was my major at some point before I switched it anyway. I remember observing people and trying to read them just by the way they did the form. You could tell a lot about a person just by the way they did the form. So, um, however you do it is fine. Remember, there's no right or wrong. Just try, do your best to learn the basics, which would be breathing from the dantian, tucking in your tailbone, tucking in the chin, having the spine straight up and curling your tongue and flow, all those basics, the roots, what I call the root, will help you. So actually, I think I'm gonna turn around now, because oh my goodness, yeah, it's almost time. Remember, 20 minutes is perfect, because that really stimulates our meridians on our feet too. So let me turn around and let's do this. I kind of got lost on that one. Anyway, another thing I want to remind you guys is that there's no jagged edges in Tai Chi. You never really stick out your elbows. Most of the postures are pretty much in a circle and trying to keep it flowing from one stance to the other. Like I said, these are all like self defenses, and some people really exaggerate these moves, and that's okay too. However, if you want to keep it just to the basics, that's okay. Remember, this is beginner's Tai Chi, and then you can build on it. If you learn the basics, you will be able to build on it. So I'm so glad you joined me. Thank you for those of you that were here today. Create a wonderful day. I do plan to do a review on Wednesday live, and I haven't decided what system. I think I'm going to go back to basics and start maybe with a cell, and then build every week do something different. So I am teaching my students now on Zoom because it's a little bit more individual for them. So, but I do want to keep on teaching you guys and sharing with you guys, not teaching, just reminding. So, till the next time, create a great day. Thanks for tuning in.